6 types of women that you will meet on dating apps. Today we'll be talking about the types of women that you are likely to meet on dating apps. I hear so many times men saying, oh, women are only wanting a certain type of man, or you only meet certain type of women. And today I wanted to bust some myths and introduce this kind of broad 6 categories of women that you might be meeting when you are dating, so that you will have a better understanding that there are not just certain type of women out there. And this will help you on your dating journey when you make sense of the different types of women that you're likely to meet. My name is Dr. Kovanen. I'm a registered psychologist, a relationship therapist, and a coach. You want to be more confident in dating and knowing how to talk to more women and how to build a future relationship, then do hit that subscribe button and follow the account. So I'm really excited to share this information with you. This has a potential to change the way you look at dating and the women that you are talking to. My goal is that you start to assess the type of women that you're meeting. You start to assess who would be a good fit and not just do a blanket approach where you are literally just like throwing sand on their wall and hoping to see that something sticks. By becoming more intentional in your dating and when you are approaching women, you will have better results, but also you are less frustrated and you're not wasting your time where you could cut your losses much earlier and then move on to cultivating something that has potential to become something beautiful in the future. So let's talk about these 6 types of women that you're likely to meet on dating apps. And I have categorized and kind of separated these types of women according to how career focused they are versus not. And there are 3 in each category. And I will give you some nuggets of wisdom from my therapy practice and from my knowledge of working with clients for the past 15 years or so, and perhaps the sort of internal struggles that they are having in relationships, that you will make more informed choices about who you want to date and also understanding certain types of dating behavior. Many times I hear men saying that women are playing games. Now we are really helping you to understand what potentially is going on for the other person if you are either talking to them or that you are meeting them online. Okay, so I'm really excited about it. So let's first talk about 3 more career-focused, more driven women. The first type of woman I would like you to consider and think about is this woman who is hyper independent, she's very career focused. Her source of her self-esteem comes very much from her achievement, from doing well at work, achieving. And she requires that external validation from work. And work, of course, is in some ways is a quite safe way of getting it, because it is slightly more removed from you as a person, and there's a lot that you can influence. Whereas for this fiercely independent woman, relationships are more difficult. Relationships can create a lot of anxiety, and it is a real struggle for her to let someone close. It takes quite a lot of time for her to get to know someone, and especially when we are talking on dating in these modern times, that requires quite fast pace in some ways. It is a real struggle for this type of person, a woman, to really even engage in the dating process. Or she might take a bit of a persona because it's really difficult for her to let anyone in. And she may come across quite cold just because it creates so much anxiety for her to introduce someone into and let someone into her world. So her behavior may seem quite disinterested, just for the simple reason that her nervous system takes a lot of time to adapt and adjust to the presence of another person. But on a date, especially when first impressions really count quite a lot, it might take too long time for her to really come out of her shell. On some level, she's longing for a relationship, but she may even tell herself that she's better off by herself. And if you are, of course, dating this type of person, you may feel like she's not giving anything. So just be aware that for her, it is really difficult to let someone in. And it's not necessarily about you, but she is very anxious internally because there's also a real avoidance of emotions, and her career has allowed her to be distracted. And when she focuses on this doing, then she doesn't need to listen to her own needs. So she may be denying her needs as a woman. And although on surface she may look like she wants a relationship, but it creates too much anxiety for her. And in fact, she would really need support with getting out of her shell and letting in. Then is the career-focused fixer. So she is a woman who is very driven and is succeeding at work. So she struggles with internally validating her feelings, her experiences, herself, and she seeks a lot of external validation, which work, of course, it provides. And she has been this good girl who has succeeded in school, in studies, and now at work. And her self-esteem really comes from those achievements. So she, although externally she may seem confident and she's a real doer and a fixer, but internally, when it comes to relationships, she struggles to believe her worthiness. She struggles to believe her worthiness of having an equal partnership. She struggles to let someone in. And she's always in her doing mode. So she's also likely to attract someone and be attracted to someone where she can be the fixer, she can be the helper, and she sees the potential in a man. And she starts to date someone who she believes has potential. But what happens over time, that when she is attracted to someone who is not very confident, someone who is not taking initiative, she's often attracted to this, what's called kind of like a lazy lion type of thing, someone who just comes for the ride. And when it comes to being attracted to someone who is good enough, someone who's confident, she really struggles to let them in, because that would mean about her letting her guard down and letting someone into her world. When she starts then dating someone who she believes she can fix, what happens is that she's dating his potential, that if only he was this, then he would be perfect, he would be this. If you're not confident within yourself already and you don't believe your worth, and you may be in awe of this type of woman who's very quite strong, she's a doer, she is helpful, and if you haven't done your own internal work, what happens is that you enter this dynamic where she's expecting you to change with her help. And when you're not doing that, then she will get frustrated. And then you enter this dynamic in a relationship where it is, you're constantly being challenged and you feel always like you're never good enough. So the third type of more career-focused woman is this more well-rounded woman who is a relationship-focused career woman. She enjoys achievement. She enjoys what work brings for her. It brings achievement, seeing progress, relationships. But deep down, when she meets someone, she is then very happy to let go of that career, because her purpose in life at the end of the day is relationships. She is motivated by relationships, by her emotions, and she's very much tuning in with her emotions, but she's also seeking a man who comes as an equal partner, but someone who helps her to feel safe and wanted. And when she meets the right person, she's very happy to let go of that career, and she wants to have a family because relationships are what really make her thrive in life, even if she enjoys her career. And maybe later on, when she meets the right person, she is the one who is doing both, having some sort of her own career, but also having a family, and trying to combine it, but combine it in a way that it is not sacrificing her relationships. And she is able to receive, and she is looking for a man who is the provider, who is the contributor. She doesn't want a man who is lazy, doesn't want a man who is unclear, someone who is lazy, or someone who doesn't put effort, because she knows her worth. And she has had good enough relationships early on in her life, and she wants to replicate and create the same environment in the future. So she's looking for someone who is confident and someone who is a man with a plan. If you want to become more confident in dating and approaching women and talking to women and really finding the right type of person for you, don't forget to go and download my Dating Confidence Kickstart Guide, and you can find the details in the show notes. You will get lots of tips, concrete tips on how to start changing your dating life, how to become more confident, how to start building the confidence muscle, because it is the muscle, and how to address those sneaky mindset monkeys that are stopping you from finding love. So do go and find the details in the show notes. But now let's go back to talking about the less career-focused women. So I've got another 3 types of women that you are likely to meet on dating apps. The first type of woman is the drama seeker. Someone who is very much attracted to the bad guys, or is someone who is really who has a quite low self-esteem, and they don't believe that they are worthy of a good guy. And she has grown up in this toxic environment, and she's unconsciously seeking the same type of very complicated dynamic in the future. She may not be aware of it. Usually she hasn't done any self-development work to really understand what's driving her to a certain type of relationship. And she needs a lot of external validation. And she very much believes that she is not whole until she's in a relationship. But of course, no one can make us whole. We need to internally do our own internal work. And only then we can have healthy relationships. The 5th type of woman you are likely to see, and you see these type of women especially on social media. They are the ones who put a lot of images on social media. They're really seeking a lot of external validation. They get such a high from getting likes, getting DMs, and they really seek this validation from men. They're also seeking for a provider, because there's this real kind of belief of them that they don't believe their internal qualities. They're very much kind of outside focused, and they've grown up in an environment perhaps that really cultivated this idea that their appearance is important, and what really matters are these sort of external qualities. And they are also attracted to men who, maybe drive certain types of cars, or who are very kind of loud, and to men who put a lot of emphasis on the exterior. But actually deep down, there's someone very vulnerable inside. They have not done their internal work yet. So they will be attracted to the guy who will give their validation on their appearance. But that's, of course, very short-lived. And they don't quite know how to emotionally connect with someone else. And she will see her value as a human based on her exterior, on her appearance. instead of her internal qualities. 6. So our final type of woman. So this is an all-rounded good woman. She is perhaps a hard worker. She's more relationship driven than career driven. But of course, what she kind of sets her mind to it, she will do it. She works in a job that gives her what she needs. But internally, what she really wants is that she wants to have and create this family unit. She's very homely, and her relationships and family life are what really give her meaning in life. So she is seeking a man who is able to, with her, create that image of finding someone who perhaps wants to provide and so that she can focus on creating the family life, and someone who certainly is equal in many ways, someone who is a good communicator, someone who also values relationships. Emotions are important to her, but she's also very much able to receive and as well as give. And she's a very much like all-rounded woman, and she is just looking for that right type of guy who has confidence, who is a man with a plan.
I hope that you found this useful. And if you want more content like this, please do consider subscribing to this channel. I hope you have a good rest of the day and see you soon.